Welcome back to First Time for Everything. My name is Mello. Welcome back to First Time for Everything. My name is Mello. God, it's been so long since I made a video. Maybe I should be welcoming myself back. Welcome back to First Time for Everything. My name is Mello. Today is the day that I want to introduce to you Uber Anonymous. Now, since January 2021, there are 3 things that Uber riders have been asking me to do. The first thing is to create an Instagram for all the cool Uber riders I've ever had that creates such an amazing vibe. The second thing is to create business cards that have my socials, my YouTube, name, phone number, things like that. And the third thing is finally publishing Uber Anonymous. Now, for the 34 subscribers I have right now, a huge majority of you already know what this book is. But for the people who don't, I am going to go through the who, what, when, where, and why of Uber Anonymous. What is Uber Anonymous? Uber Anonymous is a journal that I take with me every single shift I work when I drive for Uber. It is a rider journal that riders can read what they want and write what they want at the time that they're taking a ride with me. When can people write in this journal? Typically, my shift is between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. I am going for the drunk crowd. If you want to go out, I want to take you there. Where can this book be found? Now, if I had my way, I would be driving in Hillsborough County, Anchor City, Tampa, 100% of the time. Hillsborough County has the 3rd largest population in the county per 67 counties in the state. Right across the bridge, Pinellas County has the highest population of people versus square kilometers in all 67 counties. Between Hillsborough and Pinellas, there are 2.7 million people living in there. Obviously, it's going to be a good thing for me if I'm driving around looking for people that need rides. If I find myself outside Hillsborough and Pinellas County, I try to find myself back inside one of those counties as fast as possible. Who writes in this journal? Well, of all the people I take, which is about 25 groups of people per night, 70% of those people, they don't even know it's there. Now, of the remaining 30% of people, half of those people think the last rider left that book in the car. The other half of the people, they know exactly what it is. How did I come up with such a genius idea? I make a joke out of that because if I could attribute any one word to the idea of Uber Anonymous, it is genius, because that's what people keep saying over and over and over again. The fact of the matter is, it was an accident. 15 years ago, in my early 20s, I rented a 1,200 square foot apartment with 2 other guys. They were called villas. They were the nicest apartments you could get in this apartment complex, and they were connected to one other villa, so you only had a single neighbor. Now, our apartment complex was purchased by another company, and this company only offered 1-year leases. There was only 11 months before the contract finalized, therefore that other unit wasn't going to be rented out. Me and my roommates used to smoke out the maintenance man all the time, so he cut a hole in our wall, installed a door, and we had a free 2,400 square foot house. I had a bunch of house parties, we had ping pong, we had foosball, we had spray painting parties, we had other theme parties. On the main kitchen table that had 4 glass panels, people would fit their little bottle caps and things like that of rare liquor that they drank just to show off. We all know the stage that we were saving bottles. On the center of that kitchen table, I had a journal. Now, I didn't use it as a journal. I used it as a way to catalog the thoughts that I was writing down. Didn't matter if it was a list for a grocery store or a list of things to do around the house or building a set or working on the car. Didn't matter what it was. If I wrote it down, I didn't want to throw it out. I didn't want to use a standard office legal pad because that got ratty, so I bought a journal and just kept it. Well, when I would have these house parties, people would get drunk, sit around the table, open the book, and write whatever they wanted to write in there. Girls would flirt with the cute guy with the red hat in this book. Guys would write down the thing that they were mad at last. Didn't matter what it was, people just wrote down whatever they were thinking. So I bought them their own book and I called it Alcoholics Anonymous. It was a huge hit, but after I got over the having house parties phase, I didn't really have a need for it. And in my 2nd year of driving for Uber, I brought Uber Anonymous into the Uber driving experience. Why is this idea so important? You know, I've never really been able to make sense of the relationship that an Uber driver has with his Uber rider. For some reason, I feel like the riders don't consider me human. They consider me a part of the experience. So for whatever reason, girls will get in my car and tell me how they just got laid. Guys will get in my car and tell me how they're sleeping with two people at once. Publishers will come into my car and say today was the first day that they've ever been publishers professionally. I had a doctor get in my car that he just became a doctor, didn't want to sign MD in anything like a bar receipt or anything like that, and he signed it in my book. I've had men that are telling me they're cheating on their wife. I've had daughters that are telling me they're going to their first strip club. For whatever reason, people tell me all kinds of stuff. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of happy at the same time. But a lot of these people, I feel like they can't tell these things to their friends and family. For some reason, I'm the guy that needs to know. Now, I've had several writers tell me the same thing before, that there are three kinds of people that will always know your business: your bartender, your driver, and your priest. And most of the time, I feel like I'm all three. I did not know that this journal and the memories that it contains was so important to me until two things. One, so many times people would open up the book, they would read something out loud, and then I would tell that story, and it would be the highlight of the night. The people in my car reading the pages are interested in the story that I am telling, which is why I'm telling it now. And two, I had this book stolen. This is actually volume 2. Uber Anonymous, volume 2. Now, first off, I will not use Roman numerals anymore because people think this is 7 or they think it's 11. Volume 1 was stolen from me and I never saw it again. I was close to halfway filled. Volume 2, now that I think about it, was stolen from me as well, but I had a dash cam that proved that somebody stole it from me. I called Uber and I said somebody took my property. They said they'll get back to that writer and see if it turns up. The writer said they couldn't find the book. I then showed the video to Uber and said, hey, here's proof of them taking it, putting it back, and then deliberately taking it again. I am going to file grand theft charges, which is anything over $300, for them taking the property out of my car while I'm in transit. What do you know? Uber came back to me and said, look at that, the writers found your journal. This is recovered riches. Now, I read this book every single night. After my 8 to 10 hour shift, it's 4 or 5 in the morning. I come home, I write down all my stats, how much I made per hour, how many tips I got, what % of the original rides that was, what the surge amounts were, what the bonuses were. After I get all the clerical stuff out of the way, I read the book. Now, the main reason I read this book every day, besides the fact that it's enjoyable, is sometimes people troll me in there, sometimes people say things that aren't true, and it affects the writers that read it, and I don't find out until I read the book. But at this present moment, I have 7 pages that have not had anybody write on them at all, and I have about 15 pages which are less than half full. As soon as that book is filled, I'm gonna do what everybody keeps asking me to do. I'm gonna publish this book. And if you wrote in it, well, it's gonna be on the internet. Don't know what to tell you. Now, when it comes to publishing Uber Anonymous, in the traditional sense of printing a book out, I thought about that and I really wanna do that. Now, outside of me just paying for this endeavor and giving the books away whenever I want, then I don't really see that it's possible. Now, if I had money to just print these books and give them out, I absolutely would. The fact of the matter is, even though I don't need an author or an editor or anything like that, because I'm just photocopying the book and giving it to the masses, it looks the lowest I can get price-wise on printing this book out and giving it to you is about $10. And that's the cheapest pages, the cheapest everything, because this isn't a book you read again. It's just for fun. I get that. But I would have to buy, so far, a minimum of 100 at $10 a piece. I just can't spend $1,000 to print out books to give them to you. And I thought about selling them, but even if I could sell them for cost, and I went back to January 6th when this second volume started, I don't think I could sell 100 copies. Not to mention that on January 6th, there was nobody that had written in it yet. I'd be selling you a blank book. So I really, really do want to print out the actual books and hand them out, but I just can't do that now. So my first attempt at publishing this book is to put every single page on the internet of everything people wrote in that book. I'll give you a couple examples. Here, we'll do a couple of cracks. Bah! Run for President, Jesse Ostrander. Sig Delts, Ali, Maddie, Cassie, Chelsea. That was recent. That was an awesome ride that I had. I could tell that story. Thank you for the great friendly hospitality. Love Detroit. Bah! It all started when I was 5. I began sucking dick for crack. My mom gave birth to... Okay, so just... This is a good example of somebody trolling me. This is like a 24-year-old guy, not a 5-year-old girl. Oh my God. Good vibes only. Let's go Bucks. Best fucking night. Carmelo is so nice and hospitable. Love him and trust him. Hi, my name is Shelby. Evan and Britt love you. Your hair is the tit. Okay. Thank you for making my 21st birthday amazing. Love you, Carmelo. Kaylee. Hope to talk to you soon. 7 to... Okay. Subscribe on OnlyFans. Say nope. Ben Feldman doesn't eat puss. If you don't swing this guy a tip, go fuck yourself, deadass. Megan. I'm gonna put everything everybody said on the internet. The only thing I'm going to censor out is phone numbers because, well, those were meant for me. Now, when it comes to socials and the truths you're telling, you told me, you told my book in my car. That's mine. That's mine. Now, I may not narrate every single story in the book, but every single page will be recorded, will be on the internet, and that is coming as soon as I can do it. I'm about ready to start my 3rd book. I'm very excited, but before I do, I want to make sure to get this out there. It's the best I can do at publishing. I know I'm going to see you soon. The very next thing I'm going to do is be publishing these pages and telling the stories that I remember. But for now, I am out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you get in the middle.
Okay.
You.
Ew, snacks.
Yo, TP.
That is Uber Anonymous. That's
I
the
have
crazy shit
never
people write
wanted
between
to
the age
tip.
of
I've
4.
been called that. I have never wanted to tip
twice today. Yeah,
Dude.
it's actually, Palomalo and Maui from,
I have
Maui
never.
from Milwaukee.
there you go.
I've never wanted to tip an Uber driver more from just rolling up to a scene than you.
Don't worry, dude. That's the bottom level
You're
I
the
got
guy.
for you. That's the bottom level.